because I know somewhere deep down in my heart, I still love you. I can run it back.
Welcome back to Running Back. This is the Bespoke Gentleman. Before we get started on today's video, do me a favor. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification bell so you're notified when we come out with new content. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Rocky. Wait. No, not him. I'm talking about Rocky Lockridge. And I'm sure most of you have never heard of him before, but I'm sure you recognize this.
I love you.
Because that love was something he hadn't earned. Rocky Shatters.
Now, long before he became the crime man in this popular meme, Rocky Lockridge was actually a world boxing champion.
He was born Ricky Lockridge. Before long, they started calling him Rocky. He grew up in Washington, where he showed promise in the ring as a kid. In 1978, at 19, Rocky rips up his roots and moves across the country after winning the Gold Gloves and signing to fight for Lou Duva. He trained under defensive genius George Benton. Rocky was built like a brick, but still soaked up some tricks. Rocky would get rushed into a title shot and rose to the occasion. Eusebio Pedroza was a bad man. The lanky Panamanian was a majestic 15-round fighter with an endless gas tank. His offense was defined by a mix of looping bolo punches and down-in-the-dirt toughness. Pedroza was simply out of contenders. So at just 16-0, Rocky was offered a title shot.
Pedroza, the champion, body a little better, but Lockridge nailed him with a good right hand.
Rocky went after the champion with consistent pressure and pressed him to the ropes. He was a complete fighter and a consummate professional. Round 2 saw Rocky pin Pedroza to the ropes and open up on him like a side of frozen beef. Pedroza got down to Rocky's level and fired back short with surprising snap. He mounted a gallant comeback and reaffirmed his reputation as one of the finest specimens of stamina in boxing history. Ringside polls and unbiased eyes saw it a clear win for Lockridge, but judges awarded Pedroza a split decision.
Like I said earlier, I felt like, I was ahead. The only way that he could win the fight, I felt, was to take me out.
Rocky would return to the title picture, this time a weight class heavier, and as a seasoned veteran. The 130-pound champion was the undefeated Black Mamba, Roger Mayweather. Roger was known for a vicious right hand and went on to teach and train his nephew Floyd. It wasn't long before Rocky landed a pair of body shots that made Roger's hands sag. Roger tries to smother him. Rocky pushes him off and fills the gap with a vicious overhand right. The Black Mamba uncoils on the floor.
Right hand by Lockridge, and Mayweather is down. The champion Mayweather.
Rocky runs to the turnbuckle, an unspeakable joy across his face as he realizes the ambition of a lifetime.
I felt as though being a champion, he would have more heart in terms of struggling to get up, to prove to the public that he was a qualified champion.
Rocky would defend his title twice before taking on an impossible challenge. Wilfredo Gomez was beloved by his people. He was a proud champion who knocked out everybody he ever fought at 122. Now up at 130 pounds, Gomez was trying to win his third title.
One big bomb like Rocky knew that he would, and instead of challenging right off the bat, there's that right hand.
Rocky fought him in front of his own rabid crowd in San Juan. Rocky relied on his pace and pressure. Wilfredo relied on guile and veteran savvy.
30 seconds left, second round.
He fought well, was catching Rocky walking onto his punches, which for all the precision and power couldn't manage to discourage the champion. It was a Rocky Lockridge fight, and Wilfredo was along for the ride.
They cannot beat Father Time. Opening minute, 10th round. Halfway through the 10th round.
Wilfredo managed to hang on to see the scorecards, but unbiased eyes had Rocky up at least 2 rounds. Wilfredo was awarded the title on a majority decision. Rocky refused to let it make him bitter. Instead, he went to war with another legend. The greatest pressure fighter in Mexican history, Julio Cesar Chavez, was a technical monster. When faced down with Rocky's signature attack, the perfect pressure fighter was getting pushed back. Chavez fought off the back foot brilliantly, landed clean and powerful to the body and head. Rocky walked through it and consistently had to go looking for a fighter who ran from nobody.
As far as this has gone, has been no significance.
Chavez rocks him in the 6th.
Rocky in trouble. Rocky Lockridge is in trouble.
Rocky waded through a barrage of brutal shots and ended the round with Chavez with his back on the ropes. The fight carried on in fantastic fashion. Chavez's surprisingly clean outside work versus Rocky's indomitable bravery and zeal. The final round was fought in a frenzy. Rocky didn't give an inch, while Chavez fought just to keep Rocky at bay.
Now the crowd rooting for the champion, Chavez.
2 judges saw it fair. One had a draw. The other leaned slightly to Chavez. The final card was 119-113 for Chavez. He gave Rocky only 1 round. Indefensible. It was around this time the first rumor of Rocky's extracurricular substance abuse started swirling. It was the 80s. Drugs were involved. Rocky's kamikaze pressure fighting style did him no favors in the longevity department. But Rocky kept his professional life together. His last great night came in 1988. He went again, as champion, into another fighter's hometown, this time fighting Tony Lopez in Sacramento. The first few rounds were hyperactive.
Lopez landed another good right of his own.
In the 6th, Rocky gets hurt. And responds like a warrior.
Pull this kid. He was a strong kid.
The round ended with a standing ovation from the crowd. Rocky comes back in the 8th and drops Lopez with an overhand. Lopez spent the rest of the round on the ropes, taking a terrible beating. Tony returned to form as the fight broke down into a reckless test of chins and fortitude. Rocky Lockridge won Fight of the Year for this, but lost on the cards. But it was Rocky's last truly incredible performance. Without the structure of a title fight to keep him on track, Rocky's life unraveled in his hands. He grew estranged from his family. He grew more bored, addicted, and disheveled by the day. Eventually, he was living on the streets and in and out of jail. Even at rock bottom, the last thing to go in a fighter is technique. Rocky was involved in a very short, moderately hilarious street fight when, against all advice, a local outside a convenience store decided to threaten him, as if on cue, a bystander calls it.
Champ, don't do it, champ.
Before he could finish the sentence, the man was already out cold. Rocky has spent a decade lost in the liquor stores and trap houses around Camden, New Jersey, until he had a stroke. It took 2 hours for somebody to get him help. Rocky was not destined to die just yet. By then, he largely lost the use of his leg. It still wasn't a big enough wake-up call to get Rocky out of his self-destructive rut. He walked the world like a ghost with unfinished business. The TV show Intervention heard about his rocky circumstances. They organized an intervention to try and get him treatment. Rocky had 2 sons he hadn't seen in 15 years. They gave Rocky the worst beating of his life.
You got 50% of your oldest child back. Now it's up to you to gain the other 50% so we can become a family again.
I do not know who you are. People tell me that you are the champ. The champ of what?
He sat through it stoic, because he knew he earned what was coming. What finally broke him was the confession of a son's burning anger and reluctantly enduring love.
I am here because I know somewhere deep down in my heart, I still love you.
Because that love was something he hadn't earned. Rocky shatters. His anguished wail a reminder that when tough men cry, they cry hard. It's the sound of an ego broken by the truth. This is how much it can hurt to change for the better. Rocky went viral. Boys made fun of him. Men understood. He went to war with a generation of demigods, and every last one gave ground. Went to war with his own ego and demons in a brutally, publicly honest way. Rocky won a lot more in reality than he ever did on scorecards, in a lot tougher fights than he'll ever get credit for, in all things, in all ways. Rocky came back with a heart that reminds us, so long as you walk this earth, you can always come back.